Did you know that you could stop working, you could take time off and still feel exhausted? And there's a reason why. In the digital age, more than ever before, we develop these habits, and oftentimes our periods of rest or breaks are not actually synonymous with recovery. There's a difference between these two terms. They're not the same thing. And what happens is that oftentimes we may take a break, but what we're doing during that break is not actually resetting, regulating properly, helping our nervous system recover or regulating it. And that's actually the key to feeling better, to getting energized, to being able to fully reset. So let's see that in this video today. Again, if you like this video, please share it with somebody that you think may benefit. Give it a like, give us a follow. We put out one video daily, giving you really good content that will really make an impact in your life. And so, I appreciate it if you can give us a follow. All right. So let me share something real quick here and get started. So and more importantly than why doesn't rest not restore you is what actually can you do to recover or reset. So remember, you can take time off and still feel exhausted. We're going to see why today. Why is rest and recovery not the same thing? Because rest really is pausing activity. I'm doing something, I'm going to rest. It means I'm going to take a break from whatever I'm doing. But what exactly am I doing during that break? Oftentimes, what people do is do things that keep them on overdrive. Maybe they're on their phone checking social media or checking email for work or playing a video game. And all these things aren't really allowing your nervous system to restore its regulatory properties. If you don't do that, you don't replenish energy. So we need to do things that actually allow our nervous system to become regulated. So I may switch tasks, and what happens is that I may not be multitasking. I may take a break and then go do something else afterwards, but I'm not doing anything proper in between that allows my nervous system to really recover. My body may be resting, but I'm still working in a sense. My brain is still working because your brain is the one that does all the thinking and the sensory processing, etc. So if I'm feeding it more information, I'm playing a video game and there's stimuli or social media or whatever I'm doing, it's actually not restful. I will keep my nervous system stuck on stress mode, doing mode, survival mode. So if I'm like this lady here on the right, and my break is I just go lie down and I grab my phone, this type of scrolling and zoning is not actually restoring you. A passive rest often includes screens, which very common in the digital age, mental noise. Maybe I'm doing something or I'm thinking, I'm ruminating, I'm keeping myself busy. And I've talked about in other videos how this overactivation is really doing a lot of damage to us negatively. It is the cause of aging, of cognitive decline, and even Alzheimer's disease. If my brain is always doing, the only break that it gets is rest in the evening, which can deteriorate in quality over time, then I'm going to deteriorate my brain's capabilities over time. Acidification rises in my brain, inflammation rises, stress rises, etc. And this really causes my brain over time to decay, to become negatively impacted. In addition, of course, we're seeking that next dopamine hit. I've talked about this in other videos. You'll want to check out our library of weekly hacks. There's a ton of good content there for free. And this is going to obviously keep your brain activated, not regulated, not getting recharged. So when you're tired, even when you're not doing anything, you're fatiguing. Your fatigue is still there. The energy drain is still there. And this is neurological because your nervous system is unregulated. And when unregulated and still active and still doing something, even though my body may be resting, it is consuming energy, and the brain, if you don't know it, consumes a bulk of the energy that your body consumes on a minute to minute basis, hour to hour, day to day, etc. So we need to shift everything. So if our body's resting, but we're still kind of on alert, we're draining energy. So we want to be in a calmer state. Recovery is going to happen when a few things are occurring. We exit survival mode. We're doing something to now send different cues. And this is actually going to signal other things such as safety, lower stress hormones, restore coherence in the brain. Oftentimes we're doing things, we're multitasking, our brain becomes very noisy, incoherent. This starts to drain output. And one of the things that actually can do all of these things is your breath. Because you're breathing, for example, pranayama, yogic breathing, that means control of the energy of the prana, the life force, the breath, the source of energy. I learned to harness that energy and control it and bring in energy, and also learn how to calm myself. And so it also helps to reel in the mind because my brain will not be fixated in whatever it was doing. It has to shift out of whatever we were doing, that to do mode, and into this other mode of resetting, recharging, and calming ourselves. So it's very important. I talk about also mindfulness as being important. Mindfulness is going to counter exiting that kind of busy, noisy state that we're often caught in. So mindfulness is one of those hacks of the digital age. You want to practice it more, taking breaks to set aside time for just being, for calming your nervous system, and for sending other signals. Because often when you're working, you're not realizing that you're holding your breath, you're sending the wrong signals, you may be worried about this, worried about that. And so, what we want more is in between those breaks, not just to rest our body, but also to regulate our brain, to bring it into a state of calmness. So we don't necessarily need more rest. We need to learn how to, in the periods that we do take breaks, what to do to better regulate, to better bring harmony to our nervous system. A lot of these things we teach in Zen Brain Academy. We have a module on regulating the nervous system, one on learning how to turn yourself on and off, one how to turn stress into flow, a sleep module, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How to turn off that overdrive state, how to have a brain that's like a master, like a monk, that's always peaceful, calm, energized, very well regulated. So recovery is going to begin when your system learns how to properly downshift. So here's a very quick 3-minute calibration sequence. This doesn't require you to lie down, stop your day or anything. It's just you take a pause and you do this. Close your eyes, exhale completely, and then inhale. And then take a slow exhale. And as you take that slow exhale, relax the jaw. You can let that exhale like an ah, like a sigh, like ah, like you're letting a sigh out. Relax the shoulders. Bring awareness to that area around the neck, the shoulder blades, the shoulders. Are you holding any tension every time you inhale? And then take that long exhale, kind of mentally allow some of that weight to drop. Let that breath deepen naturally and extend the exhale without forcing it, without trying to fix anything. Just try to bring awareness to your breath and your posture, which I've talked about in many videos before, how important it is to be aware of your posture is one of those things that can immediately reset you because our posture often is sending the wrong cues and it also interferes with our breathing. By us acting on both, it really makes a huge difference. So just kind of keep that in mind as you go about your day, taking those breaks to allow recovery to happen during the day. And what you're doing is you're learning, you're teaching the nervous system not just to send energy to the to-do side, the stress side, the sympathetic, but also to the relaxation side, the non-doing, the being side, the parasympathetic. That's the side that's going to open the door to creativity, relaxation, recovery, health, well-being, better sleep later on. You don't need to take weekends off or vacations if you integrate the right practices like we teach in Zen Brain Academy, that you integrate throughout the day. These micro recoveries are going to prevent burnout from accumulating and are going to allow you to finish the day strong, to have more energy for your loved ones, and as well for energy to go to sleep. You need to learn how to train recovery, build it into your nervous system. It took me years to learn how to do that. And eventually, once I learned it, I realized, I want to teach this to other people. And I created Zen Brain Academy because it is a need. I don't say it lightly, saying that you need this. It's something in the digital age is more important than ever before. Your nervous system needs regulation to recover from burnout. You can learn recalibration tools to restore your energy. I have an energy module in Zen Brain Academy, sustainable calm and performance. Because remember, I could be really productive in short bursts, but it will lead to eventually burnout that's going to interfere with my productivity over time, whether it's in that day or later in the week or later in the month or year as I age. Remember, you don't need to recover by stopping. You recover by regulating. What are you doing during those breaks? That's what matters the most. Be very smart with how you design your day, built-in recovery throughout the day with the right practices. And if you want to learn some of those practices to become a super powered human in this digital age, join Zen Brain Academy. Unlike anything out there, you can try it for free for 2 weeks. Hope to see you on the other side. For my office hours, coaching classes, you can ask me any question. There's private sessions, so on and so forth. Lots of good stuff. All right, check it out. Take care. Stay Zen.